Leafs Nation, it is the moment we have all been waiting for. The 2019-2020 season is about to begin. The first game of the regular season for the Leafs kicks off tomorrow night against the Ottawa Senators at Scotiabank Arena, 7 o'clock puck drop. And this season, we could say every year is highly anticipated, but this year has a different feel about it. The players that, had tough times in the playoffs in previous years, gone. Gardner, Kadri, gone. You brought in Tyson Barrie. You brought in Alex Kerfoot. You've brought in Cody Ceci. Lots of new names in the Leafs lineup. And the practice lineups for today, Christine Shilton posted on Twitter today, the Leafs practice lines, at least today, were Kapanen, Tavares, Mitch Marner, Andreas Johnsson, Austin Matthews, William Nylander, Mikheyev, Kerfoot, and Trevor Moore, Dmytro Timashov, Jason Spezza, and Frederick Gauthier. Nick Shore was the extra guy out there. Decor, Riley, and Cody Ceci, Jake Muzzin, Tyson Barrie, Rasmus Sandin, and Martin Marincin, and Timothy Liljegren and Justin Hall. Those are the guys, and obviously Anderson and Michael Hutchison were the goaltenders there. So that's what the roster seemingly looks like for the Leafs on opening night tomorrow night. Ladies and gentlemen, with the Jays season going the way it did, this Leaf time, this Raptor time has not come soon enough. The Jays season just finished, and we are all ready and pumped to get this season underway. Now, there's tons of expectations on the Leafs, as there is every year. But I think what we all imagine now is that this year, there is no doubt in our mind that there has to be a second round entrance. You cannot get eliminated in the first round for the fourth consecutive season. If that's the case, Mike Babcock could be on the hot seat. Now, the Leafs do have to make the playoffs, though. They have to stay healthy and make the playoffs, so that's not a foregone conclusion. But the way we know this Leaf team is, the way we know the Atlantic Division is all about, there's a lot of great teams in our division. Obviously, Tampa won the Presidents last year and got swept in the first round, so that doesn't mean anything, but they had one of the best records of all time. Boston, they were a consistently unbelievable team last year. The Leafs, yeah, they were a really good team last season. It's unfortunate they are put in this stupid division, and the stupid divisional format is still the way it is. And the Montreal Canadiens, people want to knock them for missing the playoffs. They just barely missed the playoff spot last year. So you know what? The Atlantic Division is really strong. So yeah, we feel confident that our Leafs are going to make the playoffs. But we got to take things game by game. 82 games is a big deal. Every game matters. When you're playing 162 games in a baseball season, you can have a tough first 20 games, turn it on, and you'll be just fine. But when it comes to hockey, you have a first bad 20 games, that's a third of the season gone. Or I guess it's technically a fraction of the season gone, nonetheless. And you can't, it's really difficult to climb out of that. You can't have those prolonged slumps. Now, the Leafs being the team that they are, and you look at the way they ended last year, and they had a great season overall. So I'm expecting them to make the playoffs again. I hate to say that word, but you know what? They've been there 3 straight seasons. It hasn't been close for them missing a playoff spot. So why do you expect them to miss one this year? You just don't. Plus, they added Tyson Barrie. They added Alex Kerfoot. They've added these other players. Now, have they subtracted from other spots? Yeah. But they've added places of need. A right-handed defenseman, a legit number one, well, maybe not one, maybe like a 1B. Right-handed defenseman. You got that in Tyson Barrie. You never had that before. Nikita Zaitsev was the next best guy. So for the Leafs going forward and looking forward to this season, I think the expectations are through the roof. This Leaf team could be a 50-win team. They had, didn't they have like 48 last year or something like that? They had a lot of wins. They have every opportunity this season to have a 50-win year. Can they do it? I don't know. You can't sleep on the Florida Panthers. I know they didn't make the playoffs again last year, but they added, if I'm not mistaken, Sergei Bobrovsky. That's a legit goalie. They have not had a legit number one goaltender in a long time. And they look really strong this season to the Florida Panthers. I'm going to go to the roster real quick and pinpoint some. Obviously, Bobrovsky. They obviously have Barkov, who had a ridiculous. They added Brett Connolly from the Capitals, a very underrated signing there. Obviously with Mike Hoffman, Jonathan Huberdeau. Vincent Trocheck, Frankie Vetrano, who had a great season. And, they don't have the team that's going to eye-open, but they have a good goaltender. They never had that. They haven't had that for quite a while now. They had the goal scoring, that's great, but they didn't have the goal. When they had the goalie, they didn't have the goal scoring. Now they have both. They could be a good team this year. Detroit, Ottawa, I see them being down near the bottom. Buffalo, I have no idea what to expect out of those guys. I expect them to be better last season. They had that one really good stretch, then they were terrible the rest of the season. So I don't know what to expect from the Buffalo Sabres. They still haven't solved their goalie situation. They keep trying to patch it, really. They bring in Carter Hutton. They have Linus Ullmark. That's a patch. That's not really a fix. Leaf fans know about goaltending patches. It doesn't work. And the Buffalo Sabres are clearly finding that out. So I don't know. I still don't believe that they're a good team. I still don't believe they're a playoff team. But for the Leafs, out of those teams I just mentioned, there are 4 teams that are pretty good. Now that question is, can Montreal, they had a miracle season last year. Can they put that again together this season? I don't know. Will Carey Price stay healthy? I don't know. That's the way sports works, especially hockey. When you have these key guys, especially a goaltender, and if they go down, you saw what happened to Carey Price a couple years ago. When he went down, Montreal flatlined. He was there last season, and look what happened. The team was really good. He wasn't the greatest, but again, can they repeat that? I don't know. I'm not too sure if they can. So there's lots of question marks going into the year, but I think the consensus from Leaf fans is that the Leafs, no question, should make the playoffs. And I think that's our focus right away. We don't worry right now about passing Boston. We don't worry about passing Tampa. We just worry about taking care of business here early in the season. You can't worry about looking at points and playoff spots and how many points up you are on a team, early on in this season. You just can't do that because you're going to go crazy otherwise. We got to take it game by game. And game 1 is tomorrow night against Ottawa at home. And I am jacked up. I'm excited. I've been waiting for this. We have all been waiting for this for quite a while now. And it is about damn time. Baseball playoffs are underway. The Jays obviously aren't even close and they're gone. So that's that. With the Leafs now kicking off and the Raptors starting the preseason in about a week or so. So things are heating up real quick for us here in the wintertime. And it's going to be a lot of fun for you guys. I can't wait to cover these games for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy all these videos because I love making them, especially when they're good teams playing well. With the Jays, it's hard because we knew they weren't going to be good and they weren't good. So when they win a game, hey, we're happy, but it doesn't mean anything. These games, these wins, they matter. And that's why I can't wait to get this thing started for you guys. I can't wait to talk Leafs with you guys. It's going to be so much fun. I know you guys are pumped. The 2019-2020 season for the Leafs is one of the highly anticipated, and if things don't go as planned, there might be some change. More or less behind the bench. But there is going to be a lot of turnover if that happens. If they don't, if they move on, guys, I'm going to put something into perspective here for you guys before we kind of wrap this thing up a little bit here. The great teams in this league that have won championships, not every team has had it, but teams that have had kind of kryptonite teams, when they get past those teams, they find a way to win it all. A great example, a perfect example, the Washington Capitals. A team that was around the playoffs for so many years, but could never get past the New York Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. That year that they won the Cup, they didn't see New York because they were out of the playoffs. And Pittsburgh, they beat them for the first time. I think it was. If it wasn't the first time, it was the first time. Anyways, first time they got past the second round, and that right there propelled the Capitals to coming back in a 3-2 series against Tampa Bay and winning that series, and then beating Vegas in, I think it was 6 games, or I think it was it 5 or 6? I think it was 6. It was kind of, they got over their kryptonite, they got over their hump, and they just kept going. And I personally believe that if the Leafs can find a way to get over their kryptonite in the Boston Bruins, whether that be not facing them at all or facing them head-to-head and beating them, then the sky's the limit from there. With Tampa, skill, it's all skill. We don't have to worry about size and physicality and all that. You're there, and you can fight with them for that. Any other team the Leafs can bang with. It's going to be a crazy season. It's going to be a nuts season. And in the end, every Leaf fan's going to think to himself, well, I don't want to see Boston in the first round, and I don't blame you. I really don't. You've played Boston 3 times in the last 6 years in the playoffs. And you've lost all 3 times. All 3 times in Game 7s. It's heartbreaking. It sucks. But you got to go through the hard times to get to the good times. And I truly believe that this season could be that great season. Now, we got to take it game by game. We got to take things, moment by moment, goal by goal, everything like that. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to have a lot of fun. Speaking of enjoying it and having fun, tomorrow's game, I will be live streaming. Now, just to clarify, before we even get into the live stream tomorrow, I will not be able to show you guys the actual, TV and the actual video because I'm not authorized to do so. All right? So, with that being said, I'll do what I use. If you guys have been around and you guys have seen the live streams in the past, you'll know that I kind of plop it like I do here, and not in the spot obviously, but I do it somewhat like this, and we just watch the game. We react. I answer your questions. We have a lot of fun watching the game. If you guys are watching your TV, I'm watching it on mine. It's a lot of fun. Now, if you guys are interested, it'll be going on tomorrow. I'm hoping to get it started about 6:50, 6:45, maybe even a little bit later than that because they don't get started till like 7:10. They start the introductions and then it goes over and over and over. But we'll have to see how it all plays out. But that's my plan for tomorrow. If you guys are interested, come around and check it out because so you guys know the timing of when I'm going to be doing it. You'll see it pop up if you have the notifications turned on. And it'll be a lot of fun. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys are pumped for this 2019-2020 season, smack that like button to appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. The reason why I didn't say anything about statistics, about stats, and I expect Matthews to have this many points and Nylander to have this many points, because those are just numbers, guys. They don't mean anything. Matthews could have a 100-point season. If the Leafs don't make the playoffs, it doesn't mean a damn thing. So yeah, we can sit here and break down who should get what points-wise, but it doesn't matter in the end. It really doesn't. Maybe in the end you could get a little trophy, if Riley gets the most points, you win the Norris. Whoa, there you go, that's a good one. Matthews gets the most goals for some crazy reason. Oh, there you go, Richard, wow, that's great. But if you miss the playoffs, you don't win the Stanley Cup, it don't matter. So that's what we want to see, the big one. You want the big prize. All right? So yeah, I could sit here and talk about stats all I want. I could say, well, Matthews injured last year, had a great season. I expect him he could have a 100-point season. He could. But what does it matter if the Leafs don't go anywhere? That's what we're here to talk about, this team. We can talk about individuals all we want, but we're here to talk about this team. All right? So comment down below, guys, your thoughts on this video, your thoughts on tomorrow's season opener against the Ottawa Senators, your expectations for the season for the Leafs, the things you're excited to see, the things you're not so excited to see. And guys, go crazy in the comments because I am excited. I am jacked up for this season to get started. I know you guys are, all right? So Twitter is down below, guys. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys, I guess, just Leafs edition. I'm so used to saying Blue Jays. Leafs edition tomorrow night. I'll be doing a video as well. Don't worry about it. For the people who can't join the live stream, I'll be doing the video tomorrow. Game 1 of the regular season for the Toronto Maple Leafs at Scotiabank Arena. Leafs, Sens, 7 o'clock puck drop there at Scotiabank Arena. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you guys then.